Hey guys, I'm Sebastian.
Dawn.
This is Don. We're going to show you today how to decrease some knee pain with a few exercise options. They're going to be very simple. They're things you can follow along with, and you just have to listen to what your body's saying as we go along. Right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. By the way, we're locally world famous. It's trademarked.
Locally world famous.
And I don't think that's trademarked, but don't trademark it before we do. So we're in Costa Mesa, California if you have any problems with your knee. So Don, why don't you take us through some of the assessment we're going to do today with this knee?
Sure. So I think the biggest thing, as we give you guys exercises to try at home for your pain, the only way that you're going to know is working for you if you use an outcome measure. An outcome measure is usually something that you do that will create your knee pain. So we had a patient in the other day, walking upstairs created pain, so we use that as his outcome measure. Lunging could be it, squatting could be it. Whatever it is, use it right now. We're going to have you follow along in the video and then go back and retest and see which one's working best for you, okay?
Yeah. So I think we're going to start with, it just generally speaking, if bending your knee, or actually if sitting for a long period of time bothers your knee and you get up and it feels a little wonky, or it feels like there's some fullness and you try to stretch it this way and it doesn't really like it, it feels like it's kind of ballooning up but you can't really see it. This extension protocol actually to pump fluid around there might actually be something that's helpful. And so the progression of things that we can do is, you can't see my legs, so why don't we have Dawn do it? Go ahead and lie on your back. So, okay, hold this for me. We're not going to use that. Okay, so we're going to say this is her knee of interest here. And actually, she's in a good position because she's got a little bit of elevation. Let me have that actually. And so we're gonna put some elevation right there. And Dawn, all I want you to do is squeeze your quad muscle. Good. And relax. Do that 10 times. By the way, if you didn't already, you should probably do a measurement tool. Again, an activity that might bother you. As Don mentioned, go walk up some stairs. Go squat down. Do some lunging. Do the hokey pokey. It doesn't really matter. Pick something. Try this intervention and then retest. And if we have a 30-50% reduction, this is a good route to take. Yep. Okay?
Pause the video if you need to.
Pause the video if you need to. Okay, good. So this is the first thing we can try. And if Dawn has a good response to this is all we're going to start with. I'm going to send her home with that, have her come back, and then we'll advance on this later. However, if she's ambitious, go ahead and sit up for me. Leave your leg right there, and bring this leg off the side. Okay. Something to note on this is that sometimes people, when they bring their toes up, their back hurts, so we're just going to leave this thing down. Can you put your hands right there on the top of your, so not on your kneecap, but just above it, and I just want you to go down and up. Go down and up. Now, if we want to make this a little bit more active, she can actually contract the quad pretty firmly as well as press down. Mm-hmm. Some people like to say, I want you to contract your quad like you're trying to rip your kneecap off the bone. If that frightens you, don't do it, but we've never seen anyone rip the kneecap off their bone. But obviously, a little bit of overpressure here, it starts to pump the joint a little bit and it starts to release some of that internal pressure that we find. Okay, go ahead and sit off the side now. The last one, which most people don't have that opportunity to do it throughout the day, and so she could just do it in this position here. And so let me make sure the camera's there. There you go. I'm just going to show you. Keep pumping that. There you go. There you go. Do a little slower.
Does speed matter?
Now do a little slower. There you go. In and out. In and out. In and out. Good. Okay. So that's the basic idea. And so now, Dawn, go ahead and squat again. Let's see how this knee feels for you.
Wow, it feels really good.
Feels really good, okay. And so this is not something we want to do forever, but this is a good first start as an intervention. Some people, you do this one, the seated one, and it just lights them up, even though extension might be helpful to them to pump the joint. They might want to start with, they call them quad sets. And so just a little bit more of a quad contraction. Okay, so that's one option, and it seems to work well for people who are experiencing knee problems.
One option, a few different ways to do it, depending on where you're at. If extension doesn't feel good, then try flexion. We're going to try the opposite motion of what the knee does. So, Seb, I'm going to have you lay on your back for me. And again, guys, if this didn't work out for you, retest again, and then try flexion and see what happens. So I'm going to have you just hug your knee to your chest for me. Good, I want you to try to crawl your hands down so you're almost at your ankle and pump that way. Yep, just like that. So it's almost pulling the knee to the chest, but also really forcing that flexion through the knee. In this one, we're going to have you do it 10 to 20 times and see what happens with this one. You can take your towel as well, a little bit more of a distractive force in the joint, the knee itself, This feels good. Let's add a little bit more. Put the towel in there, a little rolled up a little bit, and then continue the same thing.
Now, should I be feeling any pain with this?
You might have a little bit of muscle tenderness in this one, so maybe you're not ready for this if you are having any sort of pain, but sometimes you have pain at first and it starts to decrease the more you do it. That's okay. If it's increasing or not making any changes, it's probably not the right one for you.
Yeah. Should I feel like it's feeling stretchy?
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think not. I think I'm probing the question a little bit, but I think a lot of people look for something stretchy to fix their problems, and this doesn't feel stretchy to me, which means my body's not fighting it either, which means it's okay. And so whichever direction we're picking, we're just trying to pump the joint a little bit. We're trying to create a little bit of fluid movement in there, and so it won't feel stretchy probably at all. It'll feel like almost nothing. Why do you have me do this, Dawn? Like, I feel like I'm just coming here and I'm doing nothing.
Yeah. Well, if you get up and retest your outcome measure and it feels better, then it's a very simple tool to use.
Hey, that's better.
One other way you could do it while you're standing. Here. And pump. Yep. Another way you can do that. Get a little bit more flexion that way. You might feel a little stretchy in the quad with that one. You can even bend a little bit more if you want to. Pump this way. But you really shouldn't feel any sort of pain or anything crazy.
Okay.
So always retesting, guys. It's the only way you're going to know which one to choose for you. Don't just extend and hope that it works for you.
Yeah, and probably a lot of you have maybe been told that you have arthritis or meniscal tears and things like that. This actually helps out with a lot of those types of things. Generally speaking, the knee likes some movement. Again, it gets a lot of its nutrition within the joint from movement of the knee. And I think probably a lot of you who have been through a little bit of more of a stretching protocol and just generally moving after you've been having an issue, think that it ends up feeling better. Okay, and so I know it can be frightening sometimes to move the joint, but generally speaking, if it's stable and it's not locked in place, and you don't have a large amount of swelling, usually it's pretty safe to do some movements.
I'd say so.
Okay, what do we do from here?
So from here, we have a couple of different things you guys can try. If one of these two things worked for you, then we know that coming to us would actually really be beneficial for you. So there may be a free thing. Do we have a free thing for knee?
Yeah, there's something that comes.
Cool. So there should be something that pops up on the screen that you can click on, and it is free. It's something for you to take advantage of, because we always have people wondering, oh, I watched this video, it worked for me, where do I go from here? Do I just do this the rest of my life? No. Take advantage of that free next step, and it'll guide you in the right direction of where to go with your knee pain with this.
Yeah, this is not a long-term plan, what we just showed here, and it's a really big no-no when people stop here, because they end up having knee pain again in a couple months to a year, which is sad because it keeps coming back over and over again. So you need to build some strength and stability around it, and that free gift that we have in the link in the description below, or it's going to come across the screen. Get that. It helps go telling you which way direction to go after this. But can we help them?
Yeah, we can.
Virtually?
Yeah, we can.
How? I don't think. How can you help us virtually? Because you're not touching me.
Same way of you guys just watching this video and being coached through certain things, we can hop on a virtual video chat with you. Virtual video chat? Do you need to say both? Virtual and video? Guess not. We can meet with you virtually, guys. Coach you through some things. We'll always be listening to your pain along the way and picking and choosing exercises that are right for you based off of what you tell us over a video chat. We don't need to put our hands on you to be able to do that. But we are open at this time, too.
We are open.
If you do want to come see us, we're in Orange County, California.
Do you know we're essential business? We're never closed.
I did know that.
Yeah,
I don't think they knew that, though.
There you go.
Nicely done.
Cool. All right, subscribe to the channel, like this, share it, and watch the next video that comes up from us.